Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and today I'll be doing another double reaction to The Longest Johns. First we'll be checking out the song Hoist the Thing Up, and then we'll end the reaction with The Last Bristolian Pirate. And after my first Longest Johns reaction, I came away with a lot of feelings. They are mega talented. I don't really listen to much sea shanty and they make it really fun, but also meaningful and powerful, especially what we heard from in Bones in the Ocean. So I don't know what we're going to get today. Maybe a bit more of that seriousness, a bit more of their fun vibes, maybe a bit of both. Either way, I'm excited to check this out. But before we do that, a big thanks goes to Aaron the Optimistic for making this donation request. As always, Aaron, thank you so much. And now, let's jump in. Hope y'all are having a good day. Ooh. A lot of Amazon packages.
Fresh out of college with grades straight from hell, I browsed for a trade in which I could excel. An ad for a ship in need of some manning, men, sails and purpose but lacking a captain. What luck, says I, to find such good fortune. A few white lies later I ran down the pier, bought me a coat and a cutlass or two, jumped on the deck and I yelled at the crew. Hoist up the thing, pan down the what's it. What's that thing spinning? Somebody should stop it. Turn hard to port. Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control.
Famous last words. Trust me, I'm in control, says the person who has no idea what's going on, but BS'd their way into the role of captain.
Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control.
Confidence goes a long way.
I can't sing the shanties, it has to be said, and all of that grog just goes right to my head. Whale meat is gross and I miss a girl's laugh. 5 weeks at sea, even Dave seems a catch. Hoist up the thing, pan down the what's it. What's that thing spinning? Somebody should stop it. Turn hard to port, that's not port. Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control. We've hit icy waters, no land to be seen.
I absolutely love this music video. It kind of reminds me when I was in elementary school and I think in school had to, I guess, reenact like the Mayflower and the voyage of the Pilgrims. So we all like pretended like we were in this big constructed boat. We all had to divvy up our share of like Hershey's chocolates. Just fun times.
In control. We've hit icy waters, no land to be seen. The food's getting low and the beer has gone green. There's murmurs of discontent under the deck. If I don't act fast, it could be my neck. So pull up the charts and those weird gold machines. I see what it says, but no clue what it means. Just pull on.
What is that? The maps and the sextants, I think.
Some levers and yank on some chains. Feign about back till we've landed again. Hoist up the thing, pan down the what's it. What's that thing spinning? Somebody should stop it. Turn hard to port, that's not port. Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control. Hoist up the thing, pan down the what's it. What's that thing spinning? Somebody should stop it. Turn hard to port, that's not port. Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control. Hoist up the thing, pan down the what's it. What's that thing spinning? Somebody should stop it. Turn hard to port, that's not port. Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control. Hoist up the thing, pan down the what's it. What's that thing spinning? Somebody should stop it. Turn hard to port. This is Jerry. Now I've got it. Trust me, I'm in control. Trust me, I'm in control.
Oh no. Fully destroyed, captain's laid out. Makes a lot of sense for there to be a mutiny. I mean, there's not much like analysis to this one other than this song is just a really fun song. I love the video, love the lyrics, and it just feels like they really have a good time whenever they put together their music, and that's the greatest joy in music, is getting to do it together and having fun together. And not that there is like a deep meaning to this track, although I could find a way into that if I used my like English class brain, but it is certainly the case that a lot of people can find their ways into management positions in the world by sheer incompetence but confidence. As long as they appear like they know what they're doing, they don't even have the underlying information, they can pass off as being somebody with expertise. Obviously, that is impossible to hold up forever, because the moment somebody questions you on anything substantive, that's where your house of cards crumble. Hoist up the thing. That is just hilarious. So my prediction hat is telling me that since we had the joyful, uplifting, funny song first, that maybe we're going to get something more serious here with the last Bristolian pirate. So let's see if I'm correct. Let's check it out.
Oh, I used to be a farmer, and I made a living fine. I had a little stretch of land along the western line. But times were hard, and though I tried, the money wasn't there. And bankers came and took my land and told me fair is fair. I look for every kind of job, the answer always no. Higher now, they'd always laugh, we just let 20 go. The government, they promised me a measly little sum, but I've got too much...
The way that this is shot is so funny to me, but also like surprisingly has a lot of continuity, because it is just the four members standing in different locations in the same positions.
The government, they promised me a measly little sum, but I've got too much pride to end up just another bum.
Oh, what a voicing.
And I said, who gives a damn if all the jobs are gone? I'm going to be a pirate on the River Severn. And it's a ho-hi-ho coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's oh hey hi hey, farmers by your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on the Severn's mighty shores. You think the other farmers would know that I'm a large, but just the other day I saw an unsuspecting barge. I stuck up right behind them and they were none the wiser. I rammed their boat and sank it and I stole the fertilizer. The bridge aside of Redwick spans a mighty river. Farmers...
I love that this is told in almost like pirate speak, but it is sea shanty, but it's just an entire story sung from this gentleman here. This is awesome.
I rammed their boat and sank it and I stole the fertilizer. The bridge aside of Redwick spans a mighty river. Farmers cross with so much fear their stomachs are a quiver, cause they know that Tractor Jack is hiding in the bay. I'll jump the bridge and knock 'em cold and sail off with their hay. And it's a heave-ho-hi-ho coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's a ho-hey-hi-hey, farmers by your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on the Severn's mighty shores. Well, Officer Robbie chased me, he was always at my throat, but he followed on the shoreline cause he didn't own a boat. But cutbacks were coming and the copper lost his job, and now he sails with us and we call him Salty Rob. A swinging sword, a skull and bones, a pleasant company.
So somehow we've sort of, in a funny roundabout way, arrived at a critique of government and the way that there is no job security and taxes are always high, and it's better just to be a criminal in some cases than to actually rely on institution for, or corporations for job availability. That's hilarious.
Sails with us and we call him Salty Rob. A swinging sword, a skull and bones, a pleasant company. I never pay my income tax, screw the VAT. Sailing down past Oldbury, the terror of the seas. If you want to get to Tesco, boys, you gotta get by me. And it's a heave-ho-hi-ho coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's a ho-hey-hi-hey, farmers by your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on the Severn's mighty shores. Well, pirate life's appealing, but you don't just find it here. I hear that up in your...
This is like, all things considered, very lyrically dense. There are a lot of syllables in this song. I don't know what the word count would be. I don't know, the average human speaks... How many? Let's look this up. How many words does the average person say in a minute? Let's do that. 100, 130. Okay, that would have been my guess. It feels like we are at a 150 word cadence right now.
Pirate life's appealing, but you don't just find it here. I hear that up in Yorkshire there's a band of buccaneers. They roam around the Yorkshire Dales from Smith to Beverley, and you're bound to lose your flag up if you have to pass their way. Winter is a-coming and a chill is in the breeze. My pirate days are over if the rivers start to freeze. Well, I'll be back in springtime, but now I've got to fly. I hear there's lots of plundering down in the Isle of Wight. And it's a heave-ho, hi-ho, coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's a ho, hey, hi, hey, farmers by your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on the Severn's mighty shores. And it's a heave-ho, hi-ho, coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's a ho, hey, hi, hey, farmers by your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on the Severn's mighty shores. When you see the Jolly Roger on the Severn's mighty shores, hey!
I love that last little montage there. See, I just come away with the Longest Johns with just a good feeling, or come away from them with such a good feeling. Good energy in these songs. They're always so bright and bubbly. The songs today were both really fun and enjoyable, and they had their, merits to speak on things that are outside of just being humorous. For instance, in this song, as you well heard, kind of hints at the comical reality that a lot of people end up living, where they feel like the best resort to their lives, the best way to find some stability, to take agency and power back, is to become a criminal, because that is a very obvious way to do well by yourself, even if it has the cost of others. And this song is less about the impact on those others. It's actually a warning to those others that I'm out there because of the circumstances that I've been placed in. It just kind of makes me think of all of the people who rightly or wrongly end up in very ill-conducive environments, stagnating growth. You're stuck in socioeconomic cycles of poverty, and there's really no hope in sight other than to, let's say, do what the next person is doing, which may be going off and stealing from others and avoiding paying taxes. And, it makes sense too, because oftentimes a lot of these measures at the governmental level are extremely punitive and disproportionately so to people who don't have as much money. It is just the sad reality of the world, especially as we've experienced it in capitalistic societies, even in communist or socialist societies. I think there is no optimal system. There's no current system, at least at this point, that is devoid of these inequities. Not to get political or philosophical or anything, but it's just interesting food for thought at the very least, and sung in a very enjoyable way. And then one other point that I wanted to raise, which is more about the music rather than the lyrics, is I love the way these two songs are arranged. And particularly in the second one, we have one member singing the entire lead and everybody else finding their way to add thickness and richness to the mix, to their overall, if they decide to sing in unison, then they add to that unison note or chord, or they come at it from different angles and create this really cool, almost like multiple twining of a ball. Oh God, that's not a good description. Let's try this again. Imagine if you had a yarn ball and there's 4 sources of yarn that could all be threaded together to form a more colorful ball. That would be what's happening with the longest johns, except the only additional caveat I would add to that is one of the balls of yarn is the predominant one. Probably 70% of that song was that man in the second position there. Wow, that was a fun one. Thank you, Aaron, for sending me this request today. It really put a smile on my face. I appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed the reaction. If you did and would like to make a request yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.